Morocco, a North African nation with vibrant cities like Casablanca, snow-capped mountains, and vast dry desert land. 40% of the 33 million people here live in rural areas. Incomes in these areas are based largely on agriculture, and the majority of people living in these areas are poor. This is the open-air market in Gourdin, Morocco. Take a look around. Farmers bring their cattle here 1, 2, 3 at a time, and they auction them off. Think about the challenges that you face when trying to change this sort of activity. It's been done this way here for centuries.
Every farmer who needs to cash in money would bring in 1 or 2 or more animals to the market to sell, and with the cash he will buy things that are needed for the family for the rest of the week or even beyond.
Folks will see this and they'll think that it looks like a step back in time.
Yeah, for sure. This is the banking system in the rural communities in this part of the world is still very rudimentary.
For dairy farmers like Amusin Muhammad, the long-established customs and markets are a way of life. He purchased 3 milking cows in 1995. Small farmers like Muhammad often barely get by on their own. But look around his small farm and you see signs of change and a better life for his family. A more modern milking parlor, expanded barns for the cows, a new addition for his home, complete with a personal computer. Are you happy with the success that you've had? You've really grown pretty considerably.
Yeah. Thanks to God, indeed we had improved, dairy production has improved our lives a lot.
Muhammad intends to someday have 80 milking cows. He credits his membership in a dairy cooperative for improving his bottom line and ultimately his family's life. Dairy farmers bring their milk to cooperatives like this regional facility near Teradant. They use credits earned for their milk to shop in the cooperative store. They can find everything from bags of flour to agricultural equipment and seed. Any profits that the cooperative gets back from milk sales go right back to the farmers. We visited the country's second largest dairy processing facility to find out more about cooperatives. The facility is owned by a farmer co-op called Cooperative. It produces everything from yogurt to cartons of fresh milk. It's a modern processing facility that produces 30% of the country's milk supply. Because it's a co-op, it pays its farmer members 20% more for their milk than they get selling it elsewhere. But it doesn't stop there. In 2005, Coopag began operating a 10,000-head cattle feedlot with financial help from the U.S. Grains Council. Members of the Coopag cooperative can send their calves here to grow in a better environment and be more profitable for farmers when they're returned to them.
You look at this feedlot. One feedlot in Morocco is not significant in the grand scheme of things. But what this feedlot will do is it's going to revolutionize beef production in Morocco. It's going to make beef much more affordable, accessible to the consumer.
A visit to a farm near El Jadida shows us the past, present, and potential future for cattle farming here. Abdel Fattah Amar is converting his operation from confined tethered cattle to a modern open-style feedlot. Mustafa explains why.
Research has shown that animals that are free can gain better, and it's better meat quality, better market values.
Look, we're not here to impose a production practice or a model that is a U.S. model, but what we're trying to do is to improve their production practices.
And the desert sands of Morocco seem like the unlikeliest of places for cultures intersecting. But it's happening right here, where goats climb argan trees to munch on leaves and nuts. Then the goat farmers pick up the digested nut core off the ground one by one. These nuts get cracked and pressed to get the oil inside, and that oil is now used as one of the hottest beauty products on the market. You'll find high-end salons like this one near Sacramento, California, using the oil for hair treatment.
So Sue, here's the argan nut. You're going to try to press this, maybe take it home and press it for some oil, for some cosmetics, right?
They tell me that just one nut makes so little oil that I would need very, very many
Quite
to
a few.
get any kind of product out of it. And I probably will understand now why it is so expensive.
And maybe buy it this time to support the
Yeah,
farmer,
there you
right?
go. I'll do that.
And thanks to the cooperative that farmers belong to, women from the area are employed at facilities like this one near Agadir, improving lives in this poor rural region. So it's clear that programs are improving lives on the ground here, but are they really helping U.S. farmers? A visit to a chicken farm in Morocco provides some answers. The growth of the Moroccan poultry industry is tied to U.S. efforts in the 1990s. That's when the U.S. Grains Council helped poultry farmers form an association. The chicken farmers lobbied the government to reduce corn import tariffs. Now modern-style poultry operations like this one are popping up across the countryside. Khardin Susi is the association's president.
You know, anytime you're asking people to change the way they do things that they've been doing for generations, it's a challenge. That's the way it is around the world. Has it been a challenge to convince people to adopt these practices?
Yes, it's always a challenge to, people naturally doesn't like change. We have the resistance to change. But if you show them by a calculation, a small calculation, that if they invest X, they will get more money. So it takes some time, but we have good results.
Today, Morocco imports 1.8 million tons of corn. That's up from less than 400,000 before the tariff was reduced. The corn is imported to places like the Al Sahel feed mill near Al Jadida. It's rare for U.S. farmers like Dave Ream to talk directly with millers like the owners here at Al Sahel, but today he gets to hear just how busy they've been importing grain.
Since 2005, basically they work 24 hours a day, seven days a week, non-stop.
And that translates into higher grain prices for farmers and evidence agricultural trade associations say of the success of their overseas efforts. In fact, a recent study found that for every dollar farmers like Dave Ream invest in these programs, they get back 37 in income. But developing overseas markets is a long-term investment with payoff that isn't always immediate. Evidenced as we explore the market for wheat in Morocco. Here, Casablanca residents bring their wheat to small neighborhood mills to be milled for baking at home. The raw wheat arrives by bike, car.
They're even bringing wheat in a taxi.
Yeah, especially because, I said that the area, where traditional mills are found in popular areas, so people do not have cars or so they bring, they buy wheat 1 kilo or more, and then they put it for, it's a culture.
On first blush, it's hard to see where large-scale efforts could find a market for U.S. wheat imports in this kind of system. But compare the traditional corner mill to the Tria mill not far away.
We just came from a small neighborhood mill where they were grinding 10 or 20 kilos of wheat. What's the difference between what we're that and what we're seeing now?
Orders of magnitude. This is 1,000 times bigger.
This is where U.S. wheat producers see a growing opportunity, and it's why in 1994 U.S. Wheat Associates invested millions of dollars to partner in a wheat milling school in Casablanca. Similar to the situation in Egypt, the U.S. can't compete on price against closer producers, but the school here helps millers recognize and utilize the value of specific types of higher quality wheat to be milled for specialty breads and pastries.
The technology we learned from the school teach us how to deal with the two standards and the two wheats to get a good quality product.
Warm bread.
The Reams got to sample some of the pastries that are becoming popular as incomes rise in Morocco's metropolitan areas. Corner bakeries like this one with high-end pastry products are popular. Moroccans eat more than twice as many wheat-based products per capita than people in the United States. So even if the overall market share for U.S. wheat is just over 10%, it adds up to more than 11 million bushels of wheat a year. From Egyptian water buffalo to Moroccan pastries, as economies around the world improve, so does the market for U.S. agricultural products. And as Dave and Sue Ream discovered, it's a complicated story that requires long-term commitment and working to improve methods, but not impose beliefs.
I think that when I go out and look at our corn and our wheat fields, I will have a different perspective of those crops growing out there and thinking that they could actually be on somebody's table over in Egypt or Morocco in the form of a bread, or that corn could have been fed to their cattle. It just really makes you feel good about being a farmer in America and being able to have a product that can be used worldwide.